All right, SML Countdown is back. Straw, AJ, and myself. What's going on, guys? You guys ready to get this first one of the season kicked off?
What's up? Yeah, I'm ready. I missed it. I'm happy to be back. And it's been a crazy season so far.
Yeah, we're ready, man. We're ready. A lot of exciting stuff already early this season.
Yeah, so far off to a good start. I think we had that big game with Dan and Prime, and so we'll just jump right into the topics. The first topic we got to talk about, um, and I don't know who posted this one. It was one of you two came up with this one. But if you draft a quarterback in season one that's not hidden dev, do you stick with him considering the training bumps, or are you just ready to move on? And Straw, you drafted a quarterback season one, so we'll start with you on this.
Yeah, even uh to start, I had the option between Matthew Stafford and Stetson Bennett. With the thought of the regression for players and thinking about the potential for dev bumps and upgrades, I think if you draft them, I say use them. I think it depends on play style too. If you know you can get to the dev bump, or if you know you can play well enough to get that. If not, then I'd say play to your strengths. If you have a old veteran quarterback that could kind of do better and win you some games, maybe that's better. But I always go for the dev
Okay,
and
AJ.
seeing what I can do with a young guy.
Yeah, it was actually my topic suggestion, but
Okay, you
this
looking
was before
for
the draft
pointers since
when
you
I was
didn't
getting
draft one
told.
yet? You're trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
was just curious what everybody's thoughts were, but in my opinion, although I haven't seen any training depths myself, obviously they exist because literally everybody else has had one. But I would guess if you draft a QB and he's got decent ratings, you just roll with him. I don't see any downside to that. I mean, chances are, it seems like at this point, you'll eventually get a bump, whether it's end of season or in the training. Um, I just the Madden's giving you an out. Um, if you need a quarterback, you don't just get stuck in quarterback limbo like we've seen some of these guys in the past, which I'm sure some of them still will be,
Oh yeah.
just because they discard quarterbacks like they do trash. But uh, those are that's my thoughts
Yeah,
on
I
the
think
situation.
especially with abilities this year, you're just going to get closer, comeback, and something else that you don't need that's not going to help you with anything. So, as far as the superstar, really, it's just helping your guy get better faster. So if he's already got the good ratings, I don't think it matters. But along those
Yeah.
lines, what do you guys think about guys that go like extremely past that? Like we saw Colt week one. Um, I could have told you just by looking at the stats he has a rookie quarterback because he threw the ball 39 times. What do you think about guys that are going intentionally pass happy to try and get those dev bumps, knowing that if you hit certain thresholds at the end of the season, you're going to get one of those dev bumps? What do you think about that, Straw?
Yeah, I think you're gonna lose games that way.
Yeah,
You're gonna lose games. You're gonna force things. It's not gonna work out. I think you play your game, but you know that because you still got to play smart. Even my last game throwing all those picks that's hurting my quarterback's chances to get those dev bumps. Like so, I think you still got to play smart. Run the ball, do what you got to do. I don't think you should just be going for, oh, let me dev this guy up. It's actually probably gonna work against you and
yeah.
not in your favor. So I'd say, don't don't go for that.
AJ, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd say with most guys in this league, the more passes you throw, the more percentage likely you're going to throw an interception. So, um, if you're going to load up and throw 39 times, chances are every 10 passes you might have an interception because you're playing with the quarterback. It's going to throw some lame ducks out there. We've all seen it. Even the better. I mean, we watched Mahomes throw lame ducks the other night. So,
Yeah,
just imagine the rookie QBs with with bad accuracy ratings, and some of them have paranoid and all that. To me, if it's not your game style, don't do it. It's not going to benefit you with wins and losses, obviously. And if you throw 28 picks on the season, you're probably not going to get the dev bump anyway.
yeah.
Definitely not.
And kind of piggybacking off what you're saying, Straw. If you start losing games, depending where you fall on the spectrum of morale, that morale could be a real killer for you. Some people think it causes more errant passes, it causes drops, different things like that. So that's you're kind of hurting your cause there anyway. All right, and
Yeah, I will say too. I have another league, and I actually for whatever reason wasn't able to play And so I came back to it with Russell Wilson, and I mean, the game just started, and my controller was shaking, and he couldn't throw a complete pass. Like his morale was, I've never seen that happen before. So I think it can get like the morale can go so far that you can literally not throw a good pass.
Yeah, and that makes it rough. So your dev chances go down even further at that point. Last topic, and this one kind of came up over the last couple days. Noticed a little bit of a trend, but what do you guys think? And we'll start with you, AJ. What do you think about guys typing in Discord chat while they're in the middle of a game? I even saw today Gilbert talking, not even about his game. He was just chatting in chat, talking about something else while he's playing a game. What do you think about that?
The self-awareness kind of baffles me because, like, I feel like these guys think there's, like, the 31 other league members are watching the game and, like, even know what's going on. Like, Gilbert drops a holy shit in chat, and, like, nobody's like, what's Gilbert talking about? And then you're like, oh, Gilbert's probably just playing his game and throwing picks right now. But to me, you're just distracting yourself. I've fallen victim to it maybe a couple times when you just get really in your head.
Oh yeah,
it's just not a positive thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I 100% agree with that. Like, I think I saw Fig, typing in the chat in a close game, and I'm like, Fig, pay attention. Like, come on, man, you're in this. And at every point, for me, I don't have corners and linebackers that I know are gonna make plays, so I have to try to trick my guy into making a mistake. If I just play a regular defense the whole game, I mean,
Yep.
I'm gonna get picked apart. So at every point, I'm trying to think of what they're doing and what they might do. I think typing in the chat is you not concentrating on what's coming next, and can definitely make you lose.
Yeah, and I think there's a difference. Just like you said, Fig drops a whole Gil drops a holy shit in chat, and whatever. But some of these guys are having conversations. Like, I don't even understand how you can have a conversation in a chat you're typing while playing. And maybe that's why they're 1-31 at this point in the season. It just blows my mind to have a whole conversation. I might send a message.
That might be how the 63-35 games happen. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
But at 1 a.m, who's watching? Nobody's even in chat to talk to. You're just dropping random comments to yourself at that point. So yeah, it was a funny topic, and you look, and it was Monty and it was Fig were the two that kind of brought this on, and both of them ended up losing close games. I think Figs was in overtime, and Monty was right there at the end too. So kind of funny that you're distracting yourself in a game that goes to overtime or comes down to the last play. All right, so those are the topics for this week. Let's talk about our top plays, and I think I don't remember for sure, but I think we actually don't have a prime top play for what could be the first time. So let's see our top plays, and I'll go ahead and unveil my top play. And my top play is actually going to be Justin Fields. I swapped it, and it was Justin Fields sat in the pocket forever and just nothing there against Matt's user. He took pretty much everything away and then eventually just took off with Fields, and he's almost unfair the way he can get out of there. But you see Matt actually switches on and then misses with a couple guys in that one. So that was my top play. Straw, you want to go ahead and talk about your top play?
Yeah, I think another top play for me ended up being against me and Eckler, man. I mean, when this happened, I was like, "Are you serious? What?" Like, he just stood there while everybody jumped on top of him, and then brushed them all off like the Hulk and ran into the end zone with no time left. I mean, I just couldn't even believe it happened. I think Aaron Donald might have been in that pile too. I'm like, Aaron Donald didn't even get him down.
I think it's funny if you look right there. Aaron Donald's
play.
the one chasing him down. He's the closest to him. 60 yards down the field.
It was a crazy play. Yeah. Austin Eckler, man, that dude. I wish I would have gotten him in the Duck Kings fantasy league, because that's a guy right there.
Yeah, he is. All right, AJ, and the final top play. Your top play.
So this play was just absolute madness here. I think the ball just kind of jettisons into the guy's hand off this pick. Look at this. He just comes out of nowhere. Clinky wasn't even ready for it. He's hurdling and all kind of stuff. It's total madness on one play.
All right, so those are our top 3 plays. You guys can go ahead and vote on those in the comments of the video. But as always, we're going to finish the show with the last straw. And Straw, go ahead. What do you got this?
Yeah, so we heard a lot, and I saw a lot in the chat. A lot about Dan. Uh, People taking shots at Dan, and is Dan broken? And when you're down, everybody comes from everywhere, pointing at games that didn't even involve them, and talking about you. And Dan even then came in and said, he's working on his offense, putting in a different quarterback, trying things out, trying to figure it out. And Dan must have went and got some special juice from Michael Jordan because his team then came to play against Prime. And so that was the last straw for Dan. He didn't want to hear no more of it, and that leads us to these plays. So the first one, that defense came to play. All Prime and Anthony Richardson saw was that D line, and at every turn they were throwing the ball away. I mean, that D line was getting there. You see that first pass, you see them come here now, and boom, intentional grounding. This is what Prime saw the whole game, especially in the first half, which is what got him down so far. You see here, he drops back to pass again. He's looking, coverage is great. Boom, another intentional grounding. That defense came to play, and they came to play all game. They had some of that special juice. And that takes us to number 2. Dan did a great job on offense, controlling the edge. Um, every time there was a 1st and 10, 2nd and 10, he was able to find a running play that was able to pick up big yards and get them first downs. And the Sutton as well as Cook, they couldn't be stopped, they couldn't be denied. And that also was the offensive line because they were running untouched, just like you see here. Cook running into the end zone untouched. Special juice for that offensive line, special juice for those runners. And that takes us to number 3, the one that cannot be denied. If you win on offense, great. If you win on defense, great. If you win on special teams, you're not losing. And to start us off, you see a punt return here. How often do we see a punt return taken to the house, blocking set up perfectly? Austin gets the edge. There we go with the edge again, and he walks into the end zone pretty much untouched. And that just takes us to what then sealed the game. We talk about special teams. You see here, Prime is trying to figure it out, goes for an onside kick. And this reminded me a lot of, I don't know if you guys remember Greg Jennings talking about really wanting it and wanting it bad and getting into the end zone. You see George Pickens breaking tackles to get to the edge and take it into the end zone. What can you do to stop that? Dan had the special juice. He was tired of hearing everybody talking, and he showed it right here, and he showed it against the GOAT Prime. That was the last straw for Dan, and that's why he popped up today on the last straw. Did it in all 3 phases of the game.
All right, so we'll see if we get Dan kind of keeps it rolling right now. I mean, he's coming off a big win. We'll see if it goes where he continues to win or if he just kind of falls apart. And that was his kind of one last hurrah. But it was a great job on final straw or last straw, and that was a great job on the show. So hope everybody enjoyed watching. Don't forget to comment on the top plays. AJ Straw and myself. Glad you guys watching. Hopefully we continue with this. I think it's coming along well. Thanks for being on, guys.